Well, it was a heck of a basketball game. I think you're looking at some disappointed Bulldogs. I don't think there's anybody that's satisfied with anything about the outcome. Doesn't matter if it was close or whatever. We came to play. We had a game plan. Our kids played and competed their absolute tails off all night long. I couldn't be more proud of them from a competitive standpoint. Just how competitive they were tonight. You got to remember, a year ago it was 88-45. 88-45 a year ago in Knoxville. I'd say we've come a little ways. But at the same time, I think our expectations up here at this table and in that locker room are a little bit different. So from that standpoint, we're disappointed. We've got a poem, and it's titled, "It's Only One Possession." And they're all going to get that poem tomorrow. Basically, in that poem, it talks about the game is only one possession. A game like this, if you're going to be the top 12 team, 15 team, it's only one possession. It's one rebound you don't get. It's one free throw you don't block out. It's one rotation on dribble penetration. It's one back door that you get back. It's all that. And everybody, we all can embrace that poem right now of it's only one possession. And if we all would have taken care of one possession, we might be sitting up here the victors instead of the team that got beat. I'd like to play 5 more minutes. I believe in this group. My confidence in this group is extremely high, and I told them that. I think you all can see the difference in this team and how much we've improved and grown. And a lot of it has to do with our point guard play, with our execution at that position with Katia and JJ, and a lot of it has to do with our maturity with Martha inside. Kendra hadn't been playing good. She'll tell you that. She played awfully well today. Made some shots. She made some bad decisions on the defensive end, and she'll owe up to that. But she made some shots that we had to have. But proud of our competitive spirit. I'm really proud of how we executed in the tough shots that these kids made. Every one of these kids made tough shots. Tia and KG made some tough shots. The clock's going down. They all made they made plays. And that's what players do. This league is about players. And these kids made plays. So I think we're growing up a little bit. And again, I'm proud of their competitiveness tonight. They really showed some toughness. Tennessee got 13 offensive rebounds. They're averaging 20. Now, they shot 66% the second half. That might be a little bit part of it. But I really, really am proud of how we competed down there with them. And as everyone can see, they're awfully big down there.
Questions?
Katia, can you talk about how the 3,000 people here have there be an atmosphere here? You guys beat down by 2 from the number 12 team, coming from what you guys did last year, losing by 40. How close did you guys feel that you were?
It was real close. I mean, you taste it. It was just that close. I mean, like Coach said, it's disappointing. You know, like, it's just disappointing how close we were. It's a nasty taste. It's very nasty taste.
Katia, you guys there was like 4 or 5 times in that second half where you get within 2 points or 3 points and you have a possession and it just didn't happen. What was kind of causing you guys to kind of get stuck right there? What did you think was going wrong?
Miscommunication some plays. Like, we lost our man in transition. Like, I'm getting back door, no help.
Kendra, just talk about what you brought off the bench, because you came in midway to the first half and immediately brought that spark offensively. And it seemed like every single time Tennessee would push it out to 6 or 8, you or Katia would hit a big shot. Just talk about what you brought off the bench.
I mean, going back to what Coach said, I haven't been playing well these last couple games. So this game, and he said, going back to the crowd, I knew we were going to have a good crowd, and we really just didn't want to come out and disappoint them and disappoint ourselves, really. And so I just wanted to really redeem myself, from the last couple games and just do whatever I could to, help the team.
Martha, you're someone who comes in here and has a great smile and shows your great personality.
free throws beat us, and also transition. We get excited about scoring, and then they go down and score on us. Like we need to find our man. We can play better defense and better help defense.
Why does this game seem to affect you more than others that you guys have not won?
I would have reacted the same to any team. Tennessee's, they're just another team. Like, we would have lost to Ole Miss or something else. Like, we just upset. But, yeah.
Kendra, can you talk about how having a game like this will give you a boost going forward and get out the slump?
I guess just knowing, how good I can be and how good us as a team as a whole can be. I think that, knowing, then Coach was talking about being satisfied, it's Tennessee, and we only lost by 4, but we know what we can do. Like Martha said, this is a game we could have won, we could have beat them. So just knowing, how close we can be and knowing how good we can actually be. So just using that as motivation for the next games we have.
Did you see anything different out of Dominique tonight? I mean, you're not going to have a whole lot of 1 for 11 nights for her. Was it just your shots weren't falling?
Yeah, I mean, you never know with freshmen how they're going to be, and that kid's so competitive. And when I pulled her, she was tired, and we needed to get her out. When I pulled her, she came to the side. I could tell she was upset because she couldn't make a shot. She just missed a short one down the baseline, and I told her, I said, hey, a good shooter doesn't worry about the last 5 or 10, whatever she had missed. You're looking for that next make. And she came back in the game and made a big 3 down there in the corner. But that's got to be your mentality as a shooting guard. You can't worry about the ones that you missed. She's been in the last 5 games, she's shooting 45% from 3-point range. The last 5 games. She's shooting it as good as anybody for us from 3. So it never occurred to me to pull her and say, hey, you might want to stop shooting. It never occurred to me because I know that kid isn't afraid to take big shots. We don't beat Arkansas without her. She's 2 out of 8, and the 2 she makes 1 with a big hit in her face on a drive on one of her floaters, and then the 3 that puts us up 3 with 1:37 to go. That's a big shot. If you're scared, you ain't taking that shot. She's not scared. She just wasn't her night. So it happens. But again, talk about my other freshman, Brianna Richardson. Again, another competitive night from her. 4 offensive rebounds, 7 for the game. Would love to have played her more than 26 minutes, but we had some foul issues with her. But she really competed hard tonight, and that kid's growing up right before our eyes. So it's just freshman, and you know what? I'm going to live with that.
Katia, how do you and your teammates move forward with that nasty taste? Do you wash it down, or do you try to leave it there for Sunday when you're going back home to Texas?
Learn from it and move forward. Take the hunger. Beat yourself. Just being that close. I mean, knowing how hard we played. Like I said, we competed. We did. But is that enough to just compete? I mean, competing, we lost by 4, okay. But to win by 4, that'll be even better. So, I mean, we just going to go and do the same thing, but come out with the win.
Is that what Coach was talking about, I think, last press conference, about playing hard, playing smart, and playing together, just maybe doing a little bit more of those 3 things together?
Coach, can you talk about how it feels going back home, facing your old team, Texas A&M?
Business trip. The thing about going back there is that's a community that really embraced my family when I almost lost my son. And so from that standpoint in that community, that's a special place for me, for a lot of reasons, but really that one sticks out in my mind. But for me, I'm going with these girls. I'm going on a business trip, and I'm going there to try to win a basketball game. And as I told them tonight in the locker room, I've got a lot of confidence in these kids. I mean, and I have that because of how they're growing up right in front of my eyes, and they're committed to doing it, and they're buying in to what we're selling them as a staff, and they're embracing that. And I don't think anybody in the hump tonight who's ever seen a women's basketball game could walk out of there and not say, man, that's the hardest playing women's basketball team I've ever seen. I think these kids play hard. And if you know, I see them every day in practice. I know what they do in practice. I tell them and they say, yes, that's right, Coach. Nobody works harder than them. So for us, we're going to have 2 days. We're going to have a good game plan. We're going to shake this one off. We're going to be a little unhappy. I'm hoping they're real mad right now. I am. I'm disappointed. But we're going to come back tomorrow. We're going to get ready for A&M, go down there on a business trip, try to get a win.
The reality of the situation is 1-3, and the monster is in College Station, fixing to drop you to 1-4. What are you guys going to have to do to duplicate the kind of effort and the intensity? Not just Sunday, but the rest of it.
I think what you're seeing now is, I'm hoping that this is who we are. That when the lights come on, this is how we play every night. It's certainly how we practice and how we're trying to teach them to be. And we said it tonight, we're not having to coach their heart now. We're getting to coach their mind. If you're having to coach somebody's heart, you got the wrong people. And right now, we're not having to coach their heart. They are in it to win it. They're doing everything they can possibly do. They're taking game plans, they're executing, they're working on their fundamentals every day. So for them, you know, again, we've got to go down there and play another top 25 team. That's the monster. That's this league. There'll be another one around the corner, I'm sure, after that. So, but I'm hopeful that my team is starting to embrace this is the way you have to be, because if you don't, you're not going to lose, you're going to be embarrassed. That's the reality of this league. You don't lose in the Southeastern Conference when you play bad, you get embarrassed. You lose when maybe the other team makes 1 or 2 more plays than you do, like tonight, we lost. You don't play good, you're going to get embarrassed. And so for us, if we can just keep doing what we're doing and playing our heart out every night, we're going to have lots of good days in this press room.
It's a question about the players. I know every game is important. Can you talk about the importance of this game and going back home and getting a win from Coach Schaefer to take this overtime?
I mean, like Coach said, we going to win first. You know, it'll be nice to get the win. You know what I'm saying? Coach Schaefer is coaching there to get the win for him there. Be your first win. Yeah, first win. Be nice.
Coach, you talked about teams run from your eye. Can you talk about how the newcomers have fared so far in these first couple of SEC games?
I think they've done very well. I mean, they've competed hard. They're not intimidated. I don't think I've got a scared one in the bunch. You know, they're competitive. That's why we recruited them. You know, when you're recruiting for this league, you better go get tough, physical, aggressive kids that have a little edge to them. And I think in those, you know, in those freshmen that we recruited, Chinway, who's not eligible right now, those kids all have it, and they're not scared. And I think these kids are getting it and are growing and developing that. Again, their lack of experience and their immaturity, that's kind of dissipating. And so, as I've told my freshmen, they're not freshmen anymore. We've played 17 games now, so they're not freshmen anymore. These kids now have had a season with us and a half. They know what to expect in this league. They're active participants in our success and failures. It's okay to make mistakes if you learn from them and you don't make them again. If you continue to make the same mistakes over and over and over again, that's an issue. And what I'm seeing out of this group is that we're not making the same mistakes over and over again. She's unhappy right now because we can't get her the ball. That's a problem with our guards right now. She had 7 touches the first half. She only touched it 2 times the second half. And every time we're in a timeout, I'm showing them how to get it inside. And we can't throw it down there. And I want her mad. I hope she's madder than a wet hen tonight. And I hope she comes to practice tomorrow mad too. And every time we turn her down, I hope she's hollering at somebody. Because I told them at halftime, I want Mark